What's up, Matt from Merchfab here. In today's video we're going to be looking at PULS MIG welding, what you might want to use it for and the type of machine you need to be able to do it. Today I'm working with the EWM PICOMIG 220 PULS and I've been looking forward to getting my hands on one of these. This is a 220 volt machine that will plug into a normal household supply and from what I've seen packs a real punch. So I'm going to be selling these machines along with some other brands, really discounted prices, more on that later. Bit about the machine, EWM as a brand is kind of known as like a premium brand up there with the other more expensive machines. So this 220 amp MIG is also a pulse MIG welder. What pulse MIG welding is, what makes it different from a normal MIG is with a traditional MIG, which is called short circuit MIG, the wire comes out the end of the torch, hits the material, creates the circuit. It short circuits when the wire hits, and that electrical arc that's created at the short circuit is what melts the wire and melts the material. It's got that very distinctive crackling, buzzy sound that you get from a traditional MIG welder. This is different. It sounds very different because it's working differently. What's happening with this is the solid wire never actually hits the material. The wire's already molten before it hits the material. And the way it does that is it pulses really high current as the wire's coming out, and that basically liquefies the wire, turns it into little droplets of molten metal, which then get deposited into the weld puddle. So you get this much more fluid weld, and some of the benefits of that are better penetration on thicker stuff. You get basically zero weld spatter because the spatter is created from the wire hitting and arcing. You get less warpage on thinner materials, and you can just get a much nicer, smooth bead appearance with the Pulse MIG. But there are some drawbacks to it, I suppose. A lot more heat is going into your torch, so your consumables and the torch itself take an absolute hammering. So a little tip for your tip is to run a larger size contact tip than the wire you're using. So I've got a 1.2 in here, I'm using 0.8 wire, and that's just to stop it sticking in it when the tip overheats, because this will get hot. With short circuit MIG, it's very forgiving for torch angle, and that's what makes it so versatile. Is if you're trying to get into somewhere, or you're trying to weld something where you can't have that perfect torch angle, you can get away with a lot with MIG, because as long as the end of that wire touches the bit that you're trying to weld to, your weld puddle will end up where the end of the wire is. Whereas with this, it's a bit different. You always want to be pushing the torch forward. The angle is quite critical, and the distance from the end of the torch to the workpiece is really critical. One of the things that appealed to me about this was the super simple menu and just the way it all works. I like that there's no like digital touch screens or anything, just two knobs on the front, easy to work with your gloves on. And the overall build quality of this thing is high. It's got a very nice feel to it. Yeah, like I was saying, really simple panel, which I like. No menus to be flicking through. I like this door too, it's got latches on it, which is a nice little touch. Twin wire feeder. I'll only take a 5 kilo roll. I don't think you're going to fit a big one in there. Little button in there to feed your wire through. It's even got a little seal to seal it up, stop it getting full of dust, which is nice. Just to show you how quick and easy this is to set up. Instead of programming everything in to the panel at the front, you've just got this chart. So you pick your wire. We're on this one, SG2 mild steel, argon CO2 mix, wire thickness, and that comes down to job 6. And then you just select your job list and you can change that to whatever it is you need to change it to. We're on 6. That's it set. You then got standard or pulse mode. You can have it so you're reading material thickness, wire feed speed, or amperage. We're going to go material thickness, and then it's as simple as that. Turn your thickness up and down. You got a trim here. You do have obviously more advanced stuff down here. 2T, 4T, trigger operation, spot welding. This is like a multi-trigger setup, which is a bit more advanced stuff. It's good for aluminium MIG. And then this side you got inductance, gas flow, and then this is your spot timer. I haven't even done a weld with this yet, so we're just going basic. So we've got some 2mm test pieces, standard. We'll leave our trim where it is, and yeah, easy as that. Off we go. So that's the straight out of the box 2mm settings, very clean. There's like no spatter on that at all. Oh, there's one bit there, look. But very smooth and nice. That was with a push angle, as it should be done. And on that side I've done a bit of a weave drag action, so all the YouTube weld inspectors can get upset about that. But they got the synergic settings pretty spot on for 2mm. Let's flick it on to pulsed. I thought that was a bit hot. It's set on 2.5. It's funny how every pulse machine I use seems to sound completely different. The times you hear it like crackle and you see sort of sparks fly off it, that's where you've got too close and the wire has actually shorted. So that's pulse, that's short circuit, MIG. It doesn't really look that different on this thinner stuff, but once we do something a bit thicker, I think it will. If we crank this all the way up, the max it'll do is 6mm, so I haven't got any 6mm, but I do have some 8mm. This should be where the pulse really shines, so we'll do one with normal MIG, one with pulse, and then try and break it. As you can see, absolutely barbecued my torch. So you can see the pulse sits a lot flatter in there. It's much more smooth. The MIG sort of crowns up a little bit. Short circuit MIG, which is what you want. You want a little bit of a crown to it, and then you want to see, be able to see the edge like sort of wetting in on the corner, which you can see. Looks like it's slightly better on the top than it is the bottom. But what we should see is that this, when we break this, this is penetrated into the material much better than this. We're only welding one side and then we're going to snap it over that way. You often see people weld both sides and then try and break it. Well, even with a crappy weld, it's still gonna hold, and you're just going to fatigue the material above it. We want to actually break the weld, so probably have to weld this to this and then just beat on it with a lump hammer. So that's short circuit MIG, pulse MIG. I've tried to make the welds the same size. So you typically want to make the leg of the weld, which is the bottom bit, or this bit going up, at least as thick as the material thickness. So we've got 8mm plate, so that distance from the centre there to there wants to be 8mm. So I've tried to lay a nice big fat weld on both of those. So I'm really quite surprised at this and how well the short circuit MIG has done on this thick plate. What you don't want to see is the weld basically torn out of the material, and this is snapped right through the middle of the weld. It's consistent all the way through. Yeah, that's kind of what you would want to see. So yeah, really impressed with that. The pulse has broken a lot more unevenly. I do think that's down to the way I'm running it. Even though this is 8mm and it's recommended up to sort of 6, I think if I turned it down a bit I would get a much better result, because the problem with it is it like encourages you to move quickly because it looks like it's sort of washing away. I think turning it down a bit would allow you to build the weld up a little bit. The short circuit's much slower and I'm much more used to doing it, so I can get a very consistent weld with that. I think the pulse just needs to be slowed down a bit. It's definitely penetrated further into the plate, but it has broke much more inconsistently. But for a little 240 volt machine, that's quite got quite some punch to it. Right, we're going to flick over and do some stainless now. Quick look in our chart. So I've got some 1mm stainless wire. I've got an argon CO2 specific mix for stainless. We want to be on program 35. Job done. Job done. Okay, stainless steel. Let's go pulse. So that's some 2mm stainless using 98% argon, 2% CO2, which is what's recommended for stainless steel. Ow. And that short circuit MIG on stainless steel. Recommended settings for 2mm. I'm using a 1mm wire there as well. I used 0.8 for all the rest of this stuff. So 0.8 probably would be better suited to that thinner stuff. And that was pulsed, setting for 1.4, which I think that might be a little bit thinner. You can see that I was warped that pretty badly, but stainless is probably the hardest thing not to warp. That was our mild steel, 0.8 wire, pulse settings, and that's the short circuit 2mm. I think that's a good little test for it. If you're looking for something small, portable and seriously powerful, then yeah, you ain't going to go far wrong with that. If you're interested in buying one of these, drop me an email. I think the cheapest you'll find this online at the minute, machine only, is £2 plus VAT, and I can beat that. So if you are looking to buy one of these, do drop me an email. I can also supply machines from Jazik, ESAB. The Jazik 200 Evo is a great machine at a bit of a lower price range if you don't need the pulse function. All the machines are supplied direct through Ultra Welding. Just if you come through me, you basically get a better deal out of it. It's one of the benefits of being an UrchFab viewer. If you need gas, you can use the link at urchfab.com. Just click the Get Your Gas Here link, fill out your details, you tell them what you need, they'll contact you back with costings. They can distribute that all over the UK. I can deliver welding machines anywhere in the UK for like 20 quid. And if you're interested in coming here and learning how to weld, I'm doing weekday classes again starting in June in Axminster. These can be tailored to anything you wanted to do. Even complete beginner, never touched a welder, don't know anything about welding, it's not a problem. I can get you welding in one session. I can guarantee that. That's going to be it for this one. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.